I'm Tanya R. Taylor, your Savvy Online Business Builder, and I'd like to welcome you here today. There's so many new faces on my Facebook page and visiting my website filled with people who have a 9-to-5 job and running a business on the side. The number one question I'm getting from all of you side hustlers is, how do I grow my business while still working full time? Well, the answer is really simple. It's all about blogging. What I'm going to do is give you 4 easy, simple blogging tips that you can put into action today. So grab a pen and paper and write these down because you're going to be amazed at how easy they are. So blogging tip number 1 is you want to be brief. Your blog post does not have to be extremely long. You don't have to write a blog post that's like a term paper or white paper. And actually, the range of words is anywhere between 400 and 750. But what I am finding is the sweet spot of what I'm calling the sweet spot is right around 500 words. So you want to make sure you're using your tools and count those number of words and just kind of keep it in that range. And then also in terms of being brief, what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to give you a formula. This is the exact template that I use, okay, when I'm creating a blog post. I know sometimes staring at a blank piece of paper, it's kind of hard to get started. You don't know what to write. So I'm going to give you the same exact template straight from my iPad. I'm going to give you the same exact template that I follow when creating a blog post. In the introduction, you want to grab their attention. You can be empathetic, you can tell a joke, you can tell a story, you can present a fact or a stat, but you want to present the problem and why it's important to solve. And then from there, you want to have a transition. This is where you're going to transition into what the post will provide and why it's valuable to them. From there is the body of your blog post. Give them more information and specific details about the topic. And then you want to tell them what's in it for me. Benefits, tips, highlights, whatever you can have. And then you want to close out your blog post with a clear call to action. What do you want them to do next? Do you want them to read another blog post? Do you want them to opt into your offer? Do you want them to buy your product or service? What is it that you want them to do next? So the next blogging tip is around using bullets. You want to make sure that when you create your blog post that you don't put a whole bunch of different paragraphs in there. You want to, what I call it, chunk it out. Make sure you add bullet points. So your most important points that you're trying to emphasize, put those in bullets and some short paragraphs within those bullets if you like, but try to use bullets to separate it and create white space. And then blogging tip number 3 is around those same lines. You want to use bold. Use bold in your copy. You want to pick out the top areas that you want to focus on. What's the most important parts? Because what happens is most people, they're not going to read down through the whole blog post. There are some people who just want to skim. They're going to skim through, they're going to read the bullets, they're going to read the bold, and they're going to get the understanding of what you're trying to say just basically from skimming from top to bottom. So you want to make it easy for them, and you want to remember people are on their cell phone, they're multitasking, so you want to do what you can do to make it easy for them to read. And the last tip is be basic. You want to make sure your blog posts are basic. Again, when you're writing your blog posts, they're not going to be long, they're going to be to the point, but the basic part is really around keeping your blog posts at a 7th grade reading level. You want to make sure you're not using long, complicated words. You don't want to use technical jargon. So you really want to keep it very, very basic. A 7th grade reading level is the highest level that you want to write your blog post on. So after you finish writing, take a step back, show it to a 7th grader or someone who may not be totally familiar with what you're doing, but they can read it and understand and it doesn't confuse them. So let me recap for you. Remember, there are 4 things and they all begin with B. You want to keep it brief. You want to use bullets. use bold in your copy, and keep it basic. So I hope those 4 things help you. Please stop by my Facebook page at Savvy Biz Builder or on Twitter, Savvy Biz Builder, and let me know your results. Until the next time, keep it simple, but keep it savvy. Talk to you soon.